It's on the other side, yeah.
Open floor.
50, 50, and 34. Dwight's birthday is actually 33, but they don't make nickels in 33. They didn't.
So we're having fun.
It turns out it was kind of funny. His wife had been born in 34, and he didn't realize until he went in the Air Force. And he goes, "You were born in 34. You were born in 33."
It's a classic.
So I guess his mom made a mistake. So that's the best I can do.
Took the basic design with these beautiful little rocker arms and the push rods and made it into a 4-cycle spark ignition. And it's just the sweetest little engine. It required very little effort to get it running well. And we got 3 AA's, a little module, and there it is. Now this thing is so tiny, I think we could actually,
Do you know if they sell those ignition modules?
yes, they do,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Banggood?
Uh,
Or that company?
Yeah, either that or Sterling Kits.
Okay.
Yeah, and in fact, I have an extra one if you want to play with it.
Hey, there you go.
This thing is so small, I think that without fouling the air in this room, I can run it just for a second. But it's just the sweetest little thing. It, let's see if I can grab this. Let's see if we can make this little guy.
That is cool.
And it will spit a little oil. It's got the cutest little muffler that actually works. So that you can photograph or look at later. Now the other one came from a company called Sterling Kits. Gee, I hope I brought the twister for it. If I didn't, we won't be. I may not have got the correct rod, which is fine. We don't need to run it anyway, but this is a kind of a semi-model of a Harley-Davidson panhead. And all you Harley guys know that the first of the head, there were 3 head series. The knucklehead, I think it was about 36 or 37 to 48. And the pan head came next. You can see it looks like a pan, the valve rocker arm cover. And then came a shovel head. And the shovel head was, you had to use your imagination. It looked like the shovel turned over backward with it plus and so forth. Can't mix that up. The wires that came with their little module was so tiny that I really had a hard time getting it to be stout enough to handle any kind of splicing. So it's kind of a makeshift arrangement here. It works best on 6 volts. 12 is too much.
Did you find that out the hard way?
Other people have noticed that, and I took their advice. Now, this may or may not fire, and I won't run it for any length of time, if I run it at all. Whoops. That's enough. But it idles nicely, it'll just tick over.
Yeah, that's nice.
But it'll sell.
Because some alloys swell too much, and some alloys, they got that doesn't swell that much. But when you use a 2024 in your cylinder liners, make sure you get adequate clearance, otherwise it'll seize on you when it gets hot. And I'd say, even for that engine, probably about 2,000 clearance on the piston.
Doing my flywheels with the tapered hubs. I don't know if you guys noticed that or not. Works good. I straightened the crankshaft in my lathe, and I have a fixture. Oh, and I made the flyweights for the crankshaft. It turns out that the milling that I done for the slot had a shoulder on each side. And I don't remember exactly why that was, but anyway, it had a little bit of a shoulder. So I'm using that to my advantage. Hopefully it doesn't fly it apart. But by tightening the screw against that, that's like using a lock washer, only better because it's pressure. Lock washer only works when the bolt starts to get loose. So in this case, it acts like a pressure device to hold it from slipping.
We need a full-size one before, and just like this one, you got to sit there and crank it a million times just to get it to turn where the other. Yeah, it's just a.
How about the boiler? I mean, how do you verify that that is capable of being used?
A hydrostatic test.
That's all.
So I actually did an unofficial hydro, and I had 2 small weeps on the front flue sheet. I took a boroscope. It looked pretty good inside. It's just 2 little weeps. So I actually got sodium silicate, and on Wednesday I did add the sodium silicate in the water mixture, and I fired up to 40 psi to let it do its thing, and then brought it back down. So tomorrow will be official hydro test, and hopefully no weeps.
BAEMClub.com. There'll be an address or whatever for joining. Mike is sitting back here on the side. He does these, name tags and stuff.
You're probably gonna take their advice and use 24 rather than
So these have got full-size holes, because I use 540s to hold them to the plate. And I kept one, and I just stuck a 1/8 inch brass rod in there and drilled it through this. I use one.
It's undercooled.
3/32.
Probably never ran it for more than 30 seconds.
3/16.
Well,
Whatever it is, it's like 9,000.
you
Yeah. Mike used recommended.
It has water cooling jackets around the cylinder sleeves, but I don't think they're accurate.
Yeah, with the exact,
And there's just no room in the
and the real air aren't cool with water either. They're cool with, or the alcohol, or whatever, I don't know what all they are.
Standard water glycol mix.
But if you're gonna cool it.
That has a neat idle. Just like a Harley. It does idle down. It's beautiful. Yeah. Wasting their toys. Oh, yeah. The other side's pretty.
Where somebody would get caught in it. New York City. This was a 2 truck to begin with. So yeah. So the place for the driver.
Oh, Ford had several
Sorry.
that had centered boilers.
Hi, Ray.
One of these days, I'll get mine running.
Well, it's actually Charlie's, it's a locomotive Charlie is in custody of. Oh, yeah? And I have the option to run it. Oh, yeah? So
Is this built to the Kozo?
this is New Engines American. So this
Yeah,
is
that's what I thought.
design that goes
except
way
where
back.
it's been
Yeah,
corrected.
probably into the,
Well, personally,
Maybe into the
it's a
40s.
larger scale than Kozo.
Well,
really?
that's true. Okay, double.
this was
So
built
once
by
you
a
do
gentleman
that,
named
you
Dave
know,
August out
along
of
the way, you're gonna have to make a lot
Monterey.
of changes anyway.
Dave was a member of our club for many
But it
years.
follows the Kozo design.
He's
pretty
retired these
closely.
days,
It's
and he's
got
just
the
decided,
lubricator in the front
You
truck.
know,
and
it's getting too much for him. Yeah.
Water pump in the.
That he wants it to rather be run, so
One of the things that's
he told
curious
Charlie
about
here,
it is
take the locomotive and run it.
that
So we do.
the valve
That's cool. It is.
rods,
So
the
we're
way it's
taking the teething
designed,
problems out of
they
it.
don't have proper
been sitting
guides
for
on the
about 7
outside to
years.
keep the thrust from going off center.
It's been sitting for about 7 years. So it's, you know, teething